Imagine scrolling through your news feed one morning, only to see headlines screaming government shutdown looms. And this time, it's not the usual suspects holding the line. What if the party that's always preached clean bills is now the one drawing the battle lines, risking your paycheck just to fight for your doctor's visit? Yeah, in Washington, the tables have turned, and your family's health coverage might be hanging in the balance. Hey everyone, welcome back, where we break down the wild world of DC drama without the spin. Today, we're diving into something straight out of a political thriller, the impending government shutdown set to hit on October 1st, 2025. But here's the twist, it's Democrats, not Republicans, playing hardball this time. Feels like bizarro world, right? If you've ever wondered how a funding fight in Congress could mess with your life, from delayed Social Security checks to pricier health insurance, stick with me. This story's got history, heart, and a whole lot of what-ifs for regular folks like us. Let's unpack it. First off, a quick history lesson because nothing in politics makes sense without the backstory. Flashback to 2013, I was probably stress-eating pizza watching this unfold, just like many of you. It was the height of the Obamacare wars. Conservative Republicans, led by firebrands like Ted Cruz, were dead set on gutting the Affordable Care Act. They held the government's purse strings hostage, demanding a full repeal in exchange for funding. The result? A brutal 17-day shutdown. National parks closed, federal workers furloughed without pay, and the economy took a $24 billion hit. Remember those images of World War II vets turned away from their memorial? Heartbreaking. Democrats under Harry Reid dug in their heels, insisting on a clean bill, no policy riders, just straight funding. They won that round, but man, the scars linger. Fast forward through the years, and it's been a rinse and repeat cycle. Republicans, as the minority or with a slim edge, time and again used shutdown threats as leverage for their priorities. Think border walls under Trump or cuts to green energy under Biden. Stats show Congress passed 13 clean stopgaps during Biden's term alone, all to avoid the chaos. Democrats preached bipartisanship, stability. Let's not hurt the little guy. It was the smart play, keeping the lights on while the grown-ups negotiated. But now, September 2025, and the script's flipped. We're barreling toward midnight on September 30th when fiscal year funding runs dry. Republicans control both chambers and the White House under President Trump. Yeah, he's back, folks, and louder than ever. They've passed a clean, 7-week continuing resolution in the House, 217-12, no bells or whistles, just kicking the can to November 21st. Speaker Mike Johnson calls it nonpartisan common sense. Trump's all in, saying it's the way to go, even floating the idea of a closed country for a period of time if Dems don't play ball. Enter the Democrats, and oh boy, are they swinging back. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, the guy who crossed the aisle in March to avert a shutdown and got roasted for it by his own party, is now the sheriff in town. He's pushing a 4-week punt loaded with demands, a permanent extension of those enhanced ACA subsidies that are expiring end of year, revering Medicaid cuts from Trump's big domestic policy bill back in July, lifting freezes on foreign aid, and restoring public broadcasting funds. Schumer's line, they were taking something away, we're trying to restore something that they took away. It's poetic, isn't it? From defense to offense in one election cycle. And get this, even the usual shutdown phobes are on board. We're talking Washington area Dems who rep federal workers, folks who'd normally be begging for a deal to protect paychecks. Rep. Jamie Raskin from Maryland. He's fired up, saying it's all about standing strong against dismantling health care. Over on the GOP side, it's equally trippy. Hardliners like Scott Perry and Jim Jordan, remember them. The Freedom Caucus crew who once plotted shutdowns like it was their day job are now cheering the clean CR. Perry's out there saying, send Schumer a clean one. Rep. Rich McCormick from Georgia summed it up, my brain's falling out of my head. I feel you, Rich. We all do. So why the big switcheroo? It's all about incentives, plain and simple. Republicans spent years with a base that loved the fight. Shutdowns were badges of honor, proof you were battling the swamp. Now, with Trump calling the shots, the GOP's unified behind stability to push their full agenda later. Trump's budget whiz, Russell Vought, is already rescinding funds Congress appropriated before think pocket vetoes on spending. Dems want to slam the door on that. Meanwhile, Democrats' base. They're fired up over health care after those July cuts. Polls show 17 million Americans could lose coverage without those subsidies. Cancer research funding's getting slashed, and everyday costs are spiking. It's personal now. Let's talk real talk. What does this mean for ordinary Americans like you and me? If shutdown hits October 1st, it's not just D.C. suits twiddling thumbs. About 2 million federal workers go unpaid. Think IRS agents, park rangers, VA staff. Military folks stay on duty but wait for back pay. Social Security checks. They keep coming, but new claims grind to a halt. National parks shutter, leading to lost tourism jobs in places like Yellowstone or the Grand Canyon. That's real money for waitstaff in Montana diners. But the kicker, health care. Those ACA subsidies have kept premiums affordable for millions since the pandemic. Without extension, families could see hikes of $700 a year or more. Imagine you're a single mom in Ohio, juggling 2 jobs, and suddenly your kid's asthma inhaler costs an arm and a leg because Medicaid got trimmed. Or a retiree in Florida watching cancer screenings vanish. Republicans say Dems on the blame if it shuts down. Thune's betting on public backlash during Rosh Hashanah recess next week. Schumer's counter. Never a shutdown when we were in leadership. Both sides are finger-pointing like kids in a sandbox, but history says shutdowns tank approval ratings across the board. The 2013 mess cost Republicans seats in 2014. This could flip scripts again come 2026 midterms. Trump's in the mix too, of course. Saturday he said he'd love to meet Schumer and Jeffries but doubts it'll move the needle. Schumer's begging for that sit-down on CNN. I hope and pray Trump will sit down with us. The Senate votes last week killed both plans. GOP's got 44-48, Dems 47-45. With recesses looming and 60 votes needed, it's bipartisan or bust. And amid all this, extra security funding after the tragic Charlie Kirk assassination, $58 million for branches, $30 million for lawmakers. Grim reminder that politics ain't just games. Folks, this flip isn't just wonky theater, it's a mirror to how power shifts incentives and how one party's yesterday is today's leverage. Democrats are betting their base's passion on healthcare. Trump's shutdown fears. Republicans are counting on unity under Trump to weather the storm. But you and I, we're the ones who pay the bills, literally. Will cooler heads prevail by September 30th? Or do we brace for round 2 of 2013? Only time and maybe a Trump-Schumer powwow will tell. It's a reminder that in America, your voice in the voting booth echoes in these halls. Stay engaged because this affects your wallet, your health, your parks. If this breakdown hit home or made your head spin like McCormick's, smash that like button if you think Dems have the edge here, or drop a comment. Who's really to blame for the shutdown staredown? And hey, if you want more unfiltered takes on how DC drama lands in your backyard, hit subscribe and ring the bell. We've got midterms heating up next. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Stay curious, America.